Um, Ever wonder if there are ways to use simple psychological tricks to alter perceptions and influence behavior? Well, the human mind is a fascinating and complex entity capable of being influenced in ways one might not even realize. Today we'll delve into 8 psychological tricks that, when applied correctly, can have a profound impact on your interactions and perceptions. We're talking about the Benjamin Franklin effect, the foot in the door technique, and more. Prepare to dive into these intriguing insights that reveal the fascinating workings of the human mind. First up, the Benjamin Franklin effect. This psychological phenomenon flips conventional wisdom on its head. Instead of someone wanting a favor in return after doing one for you, they are actually more likely to do you another favor. It's a fascinating quirk in human nature, rooted in cognitive dissonance, where our actions influence our attitudes, not the other way around. As it turns out, asking for help isn't just okay, it's beneficial. So, ask for help when needed. It might just strengthen your relationships. Next, let's explore the foot in the door technique. Imagine this. You're asked to perform a tiny favor. No big deal, right? But then a larger request follows. You're more likely to agree to it because you've already said yes once. That's the foot in the door technique, a clever psychological trick that works by starting with a small ask and gradually escalating. Think of it as a staircase, each step leading to larger commitments. Remember, start small and build up to make a big impact. Opposite to the foot in the door technique, we have the door in the face technique. This approach takes a bit of boldness. You start by making an outrageous request, something you know will likely be turned down. Then you follow up with a more reasonable request. This second request, by comparison, seems much more acceptable and is often agreed to. It's a fascinating psychological trick that plays on our inherent need to compromise and find middle ground. So, don't be afraid to ask big. It could lead to a more favorable response. Now let's talk about the power of names. Ever noticed how hearing your name in a conversation can instantly grab your attention? That's because our names are deeply tied to our identity and self-perception. Using someone's name when you speak to them can foster a strong sense of connection, making them feel valued and recognized. It's a subtle yet potent psychological trick that can cultivate trust and rapport. But remember, with power comes responsibility. Remember, a person's name is the sweetest sound to them, so use it wisely. Ever heard of the bystander effect? This intriguing social psychological phenomenon suggests that the more people present, the less likely any one of them is to step forward and offer help in a crisis. It's as if everyone assumes someone else will jump in, leading to a diffusion of responsibility. So remember, if you're ever in a pickle and need assistance, single out an individual and ask them directly for help. It might just save the day. Last but not least, the scarcity principle. This fascinating psychological bias implies that we humans, quirky creatures that we are, place a higher value on objects that are scarce. Just think about it. Diamonds, rare art, limited edition sneakers, they're all coveted because they're not easily available. On the flip side, we tend to undervalue things that are abundant, like grains of sand or blades of grass. It's a peculiar quirk of our minds, isn't it? Remember, less is more when it comes to creating value. So, there you have it. 8 psychological tricks that actually work. We've journeyed through the power of the mind, the Benjamin Franklin effect, the foot in the door and door in the face techniques, the magic of names, the bystander effect, and the scarcity principle. Each of these strategies offers a unique insight into how our minds function and how we can leverage this knowledge in our daily lives. Use these tricks wisely, and remember, understanding the mind can be your greatest tool.